Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here with MGS Coaching Football again. Excuse me. First of all, I hope you subscribe to my channel. And secondly, I just finished my 38th year coaching football. I was a defensive coordinator, but I've been a offensive and special teams coordinator. I've been a head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. Today, in this presentation, I want to talk to you about how we defend in our base 3-4 versus what we just simply call a quick trap. Okay, and specifically out of what we call 21 personnel, I pro. Okay, middle of the field in both cases. We're going to diagram and teach you how we defend versus what we call trap Y and trap X. Okay, and how we've had to defend it in the sense of how they try and occupy our outside linebacker, the dime, who is relatively unaccounted for, but some tweaks to the blocking schemes that we've also encountered. All right. So today, the key terms, per usual, we got surface with level integrity. Okay. What we call push in or bend, patch fold, spill and pry, shuffle either wall, same color exchange. And as far as new terms, we got trap and we got veer and what that means. Okay. And then as we go through this, we'll incorporate how we teach it to our kids during preseason and how we incorporate it if we're not facing necessarily any 21 in any given week, how we still build it into our script plan so that it keeps it fresh in our kids' minds. All right. So as we go through this, the offense I'm going to diagram in the black marker, and the defensive reaction will be in the red. Okay. All right. So first of all, right, trap Y up top, and also as you can tell already, no secondaries involved. It's just the box personnel, our 7 box defenders. Okay, and how they're blocked in a quick trap. Not necessarily. The offense isn't worried about blocking the corners and safeties. All right. So first of all, trap Y means the trap's going to the tight end. We call the tight end the Y. Okay. Trap X means it's going away from the Y, which we call the split end, X. Okay. X and Y. In this case, the guard on the 2-man surface is going to be the trapper. Okay. So first of all, let me give you the scheme that we normally face. Not the only scheme, but the one we face. And it's going to bring in everything more or less right off the bat. Okay. So trap is a call that's going to be made by the inside linebacker. Veer is the type of release to high wall by the play side tackle. Okay. So first of all, the trap. Okay. If I'm going to be pulling, okay, in this direction, and I'm supposed to be trapping, meaning digging out the 4 technique on the opposite side, I'm not going to keep my shoulders square like I do in a skip pull. I'm going to start off by being deeper. Okay. So teach your kids how to recognize depth, right? The 3 different levels, levels 1, 2, and 3. Typically on a trap play, there are 2 at the minimum, or usually 3, so they're as deep as they can be, which means break the bottom of the center's numbers. You got to teach your inside linebackers how to recognize that. So they should be screaming, watch trap, watch trap, watch trap. Because then if I'm trapping this way, I literally step downhill right on the heels of my center, and I do the exact opposite of a skip pull where I stay square to eye the linebackers. My eyes are here. So that makes it easy when you teach it that way for your backer in this case to be screaming, trap, 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 not pull. If you see my power diagram presentation on the whiteboard, the skip pull, it's a whole different reaction from the 4 technique, right? Because he's not being trapped. So that's that part of it. And what trap means, okay, is right up here. Trap tells your defensive end your 4 technique to spill and pry. So when I said this is going to be all brought in right off the bat, I wasn't kidding. Okay? So the surface, level integrity. In this case, I'm not even referring to our level integrity. I'm talking about the level alignment of the pulling guard. Okay, that is a burp, burp, burp. All the lights should be going off. It's going to be a trap play. Okay? So, consequently now, the trap, right? He's third level, the deepest he can be in the backfield without, being illegally not having 7 guys in the line of scrimmage. The veer. This is a triple option technique. Whenever they face a 4 technique, to tackle outside releases to high wall the linebacker. We call it the Veer Block on their Veer Scheme, hence why we call it Veer. Okay, so he's coming outside release. Their hope is our 4 technique, who's knocking back, is going to release out with him. The answer is he's not. Because remember, this is our 4 techniques pressure key, but the guard is his visual key. All right? So what we've been seeing is we get the Veer Release, which is outside, arc release outside, Veer Release, one word, Veer. Only the tackle veers, Veer. The tight end just tries to get inside position on the rover. Okay? The basic way that they try and block the opposite defensive end is just have the offensive tackle just cut them off, bother them enough to prevent them from bending and possibly making the play. So here is how they take care of the nose and the backer. Okay? Double team combo up to the backer. Double team, double team, double team. Okay? And the way they occupy the dime is they just shoot the tailback on a pitch path, just freeze the dime for a second. It's all it takes. So it's like eye candy. All right? And then the fullback's going to get in the hip pocket of the pulling guard, trapping guard. Okay? So that is typically the scheme that we see. So how do we defend against that? Okay, well, first of all, it starts with a massively loud trap call. Trap, 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 trap. So now, excuse me. 2, the end in this case, okay? Trap call. He's got the down block. He puts himself on that bend, spill and pry up the field. Destroy it. Boom! And then spill and pry up the field. Okay? I mean, that's huge. Okay, so on the spill and pry, that's a version of the push. So it's the defensive end who's being trapped, who's first bending down, and the spill and pry, it ends up being a push. Okay, so the spill is the course to wrong arm. The pry ends up being getting behind the trapper and then pushing up the field. Okay, so that's what I meant by so putting the whole thing together. I wasn't kidding. Okay? So what happens to the dime is he is frozen, even if it's for a split second, he's blocked. Okay? Here is the key. The patch, the shuffle, eye wall, same color exchange. Okay, this is all part of it. Okay? So, trap call. First of all, I'm going to start with the backer in this case, whose guard it was trapping. He executes shuffle, shuffle, eye the wall, so his eye goes immediately for guard to tackle. patch over it, come downhill. Okay? Here, our Mike linebacker has a down block with a veer, so that's an open window. So now as he starts to shoot the open window, same color exchange, there comes his defensive end, so he's going to exchange outside. In all likelihood, he is going to get caught underneath the tackle. Okay? But there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. And this play is supposed to hit right where the backside linebacker, shuffle, eye in the wall, patching over is going to fit, as well as where the Mike linebacker is going to fit. This actually works out because now the Mike is in the B gap. Okay, versus this trap scheme, it puts the Mike in the B gap. You have a rover who's going to use the ass and ankles of the tight end. You've got a safety who's got force. Okay, he's going to hear the trap. He's going to come down, sit, and invert at 5, so he's got plenty of help there. Okay, so versus the Veer scheme, which we see typically only versus a quick trap look. That's the time we tell that linebacker on the side of the veer of the tackle, you fit underneath it. Okay, because it's a trap. You're now the B gap guy. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Trap X, okay, you just reverse everything. Now he's making the trap call. Now there's the dig out block, right? Backside, still a dig out block. Now the Veer block is coming here. The double team chip is coming here, and the way they still occupy the outside linebacker is with that fake toss look. Okay? And then in a second, I'll give to you what we've sort of seen a little bit of in the past, although it's not real effective. Okay? Excuse me. So everything is the same. He's now making the trap call. So now he is spilling, prying, pushing. All right? He is now the one. Shuffle, shuffle, patch over, eye the wall, see the wall, fit in. He is now the one that when he hears trap and sees the veer, fits underneath, because now that puts him in the B gap area. And now the dime is in a perfect position to play bounce, as well as this would be the one where you might have a bit of a fold. Potentially. Don't forget, this is sky support. So you got a safety coming down who'll be playing that same invert because it's a B gap. It's a belly angle play, course of ball, right? We got backside safety fitting in on the slice. So we got it down. We should be okay. All right. The other thing that we've had done to us is we've had the quarterback reverse pivot, hand the ball off, and then attack down the line of scrimmage to try and get the dime to feather a little bit to prevent him from being able to fold in. But that's the little tweak, and that's kind of it as far as the little tweak is concerned. Okay, but the big coaching point here is we're always patching over. Our level integrity is versus this Veer scheme on our 4 technique. When the tackle outside releases to high wall block our backer, it is typically only versus a trap scheme to that same side. So now he essentially is exchanging same color with his defensive end. Remember, same color exchange. All right, because that B gap's really going to be A gap, and that now puts him underneath the tackle in that B gap area. So that's a whole lot of our jersey where the ball's trying to hit up, right? Through the A gap, B gap, inside the trap. Okay? So again, this is typically a scheme out of two-back. We don't face a lot of it. We really don't. But when we do, we got to be prepared. So trap Y's to the tight end. Trap X is away from the tight end. The veer that we usually get in hopes of pulling our four technique a little bit wider to widen the hole is the outside release, which we just say is veer, 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 veer. Okay? You'll also be alert for their level offensive level integrity, meaning the trapping guard should be much deeper than usual, okay, which should be an alarm. Watch trap, watch trap, watch trap. Scream out the trap, which puts our fourth technique into the spill and pry mode versus a pull call puts them into the push mode up the field, right? A whole different thing, okay? And then this does hit quickly. You got to pick up the tendencies of when they're going to do it. It's usually a personnel tendency, okay? The last thing as far as the offense is concerned, watch for a widening of the splits to try and pull your four technique as wide as possible. The widest split we've ever seen, honestly, is about 3.5, give or take, okay? So teach your kids level recognition, offensive line level recognition, teach your kids split recognition. And the biggest thing is, as I mentioned earlier, even if you're not expecting to see a whole lot of 21 every given week, in your run period script in one, maybe two, over the course of two practices, a 21 personnel quick trap just to keep your kids fresh. Okay? As always, I hope you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, I hope you reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.